A pleasant good morning. Welcome to King's FM News Broom. News Broom is a 45 minutes news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and the rest of the world. Today is Friday, November 1st, 2024. And of course, I am Newton Tokah presenting. Stories we're following this morning. Opposition Congress for Democratic Change Executive Committee condemns Deputy Speaker Thomas Fala for gross disobedience to the party's interests. But Deputy Speaker Thomas Fala says his decision to listen to the majority bloc is in respect to the House's rules and procedures and the Liberian Constitution. President Joseph Wakai suspends with immediate effect 3 officials of the Liberian Refugees Repatriation and Resettlement Commission. The Liberian leader instructs the Liberian Anti-Corruption Commission to launch a full-scale investigation into the corruption scandal involving LRRC Executive Director Pachawosi and his 2 deputies. Senate Committee on Hydrocarbon, Energy and Environment gives Liberia Electricity Corporation and Liberia Electricity Regulatory Commission 10 days ultimatum to provide clarity on proposed electricity tariff increment. And away from home, several women have taken their lives in Sudan's central Gassara state after being raped by paramilitary fighters in the brutal civil war raging in the country, Rights Group and activists have said. These are stories we're following this morning, but let's take a very short break. When we come back, we'll bring you the news bulletin. Thanks for rejoining us. Welcome back. Deputy House Speaker Thomas Fala has joined the majority bloc following 2 separate communications compelling him to appear before the joint chamber. During the anti-COFA 6-day sitting on Thursday, October 31st, Deputy Speaker Fala was seen presiding in the joint chamber of the 43 lawmakers calling for the removal of House Speaker Jonathan Fonati Kofa. Prior to the first day section, majority bloc on Wednesday, October 30th, issued a second warning to the Deputy Speaker in a communication addressed to him by the acting Chief Clerk James Toby, compelling the Deputy Speaker presence before the anti-COFA bloc 6-day sitting in the joint chamber to discharge his legislative duties. Recently, the rebellion lawmakers also threatened to declare the Deputy Speaker position vacant, failure for the Deputy Speaker Fala to attend his Tuesday, October 29th section, and consequently the Thursday, October 31st section. The Deputy Speaker previously issued a statement on his official Facebook page indicating his reasons for appearing before the majority bloc in the joint chamber. He pointed out that his decision to listen to the majority bloc is in respect to the House's rules and procedures and the Liberian Constitution. In a related development, Deputy Speaker Thomas Fala has called on the majority bloc and the pro-COFA bloc to reconcile in the interest of Liberians and start to conduct major national duties. According to him, it is prudent that both parties uphold Liberian Constitution and the House's rules and procedures in bringing a total end to the ongoing political maneuvering. Meanwhile, Embattled House Speaker Fonati Kofa has expressed disappointment in the majority bloc for refusing to attend regular section being paid for. Pro-COFA bloc on Thursday could not conduct section due to lack of quorum. Members of the pro-Kofa bloc is said to have dropped to 28 as Deputy Speaker Fala has joined ranks with the majority bloc. A number of horses secretariat has also joined the majority bloc and were in the joint chamber on Thursday, unlike Chief Clerk Major Sion, who is reportedly sick. The Congress for Democratic Change Executive Committee has strongly condemned Deputy Speaker Thomas Fala for what it termed as disobedience to the party's interest in the ongoing political saga for the removal of Speaker Fonati Kofa. The CDC Executive Committee also frowned at CDC lawmakers who it said have disrespected former President George Weah and the Executive Committee to go against Speaker Jonathan Fonati Kofa. In a release issued Thursday, the opposition party accused President Joseph Boakai of influencing the ongoing political fight at the House of Representatives for the removal of Speaker Kofa. According to the former ruling party, the president-elect's role in the removal of Speaker Kofa is intended to destabilize the CDC. The CDC further stressed confidence, noting that the schemes will fail and the CDC will emerge stronger. In furtherance, the CDC Executive Committee said the ongoing political fight speaks to wider threat on Liberian democracy, pointing out that overbearing executive is interfering with the function of the other two branches, thereby undermining checks and balances. According to the release, the Unity Party-led government is engulfed with undemocratic practices, adding that the government has gone against every aspect of the rule of law, as evidenced by the disrespect of the Supreme Court rulings, violation of human rights, arbitrary dismissal of civil servants, ill treatment of Liberian diplomats deployed during the CDC government, among others. President Joseph Boakai has suspended 3 officials of the Liberian Refugees Repatriation and Resettlement Commission over corruption allegations. Those suspended are LRC Executive Director Patrick Wozi, Deputy Executive Director for Operations Richie Hoff, and Deputy Executive Director for Administration Ama Kane. Executive Mansion, in a release issued Thursday, October 31st, disclosed that a suspension take immediate effect and will remain in place without pay. The LRC Executive Director, Patrick Wosi, and his 2 deputies are being accused of manipulating the returning list for personal gain, with aggrieved workers of the institution recently calling for their immediate dismissal. The release also indicates a report submitted to the Office of the President which detailed questionable financial transactions involving the officials and others within the LRC. Meanwhile, the Liberia Anti-Corruption has been directed to initiate a full-scale investigation into the corruption allegations at the Liberia Refugees Repatriation and Resettlement Commission. The executive director of the Campaign for Change, Vanilla Patrick, has expressed disappointment in the ongoing removal saga of Hospital J. Fonati Kofa as in cause for due process. Liberian home and abroad have since begun calling for the full implementation of the rule of law, but majority members of the House of Representatives are said to be stiff in demanding the removal of the Speaker. Vanilla Party has condemned the action happening at the House of Representatives, adding allegations leveled against the rebel lawmakers should be taken seriously, but at the same time, call for due process before the Speaker can be removed. Patrick further stated that the removal saga of Speaker Kofa being pushed by some members of the lower house should not be based on political merit, but follow the rule of law. The Senate Committee on Hydrocarbon, Energy and Environment has given the Liberia Electricity Corporation and Liberia Electricity Regulatory Commission a 10-day ultimatum to provide clarity on the proposed increment of tariffs on electricity by both entities without briefing the legislature. In a communication addressed to the Executive Officer of LDC, Monica, the committee chairman, Bomi County Senator Eden Snow, said both institutions provided the information by means of public space without prior consultation or briefing to the Senate through the Hydrocarbon, Energy and Environment Committee, which is essential for maintaining transparency and accountability, especially in decisions impacting the broader economy and livelihoods of the citizenry. He said, "There's this is no gainsaying that the tariffs increment on electricity by both Liberia Electricity Corporation and Liberia Electricity Regulatory Commission is unhealthy at, at a time when our citizens are faced with pressing economic challenges. Recently, LDC submitted a proposal for fuel electricity tariff covering the period from January 1st, 2025 to December 31st, 2027 to the Liberia Electricity Regulatory Commission. The proposed changes require approval from the Commission and are being put forward in accordance with Section 8.12 of the 2015 Electricity Law of Liberia. This section stipulates that a lessee may not be charged a customer any tariff other than that determined or approved by the regulator. Amid bitter inflation and rising hunger in the country, a leaked memo from the High Command of the Armed Forces of Liberia has revealed an apology to soldiers regarding a delay in salary disbursement for October 2024. The memo states HQ-AFL was informed by Ministry of Defense of a delay in the disbursement of salaries for the month of October. The High Command of the AFL regrets the situation and is concerned about the potential hardship this delay will cause personnel of the Armed Forces of Liberia and their dependents. The High Command assured personnel that they are actively working with the appropriate authorities to resolve the issue and expedite payments. Despite the situation, the memo directs all Joint and Special Staff members as well as unit commanders to inform their respective personnel about the delay, urging them to remain patient and maintain the highest standards of professionalism. He emphasizes the resilience, dedication, and discipline that AFL personnel have consistently demonstrated in the face of challenges, reaffirming the AFL's commitment as a force for good, the memo stated. The Banking Institute of Liberia and the Liberia Chamber for Commerce have ended a day-long roundtable conference in Monrovia geared towards strengthening business environment and attracting investment capital in Liberia. The program held on Thursday at the City Hall brought together key stakeholders from the Central Bank of Liberia, International Monetary Fund, Liberia Bar Association, International Finance Corporation, Liberia Bank Association, and the National Investment Commission. The Banking Institute of Liberia and the Liberia Chamber of Commerce, in partnership with the Liberia Bar Association, are collaborating to strengthen legal reforms to protect and attract investment in Liberia. Speaking at the ceremony, the president of the Liberia Chambers of Commerce, Native Darius, pointed out the importance of the initiative, adding that the rightful policies are being formed to promote Liberia businesses and the investment sector. Davis further expressed hope, indicating that he believes governance and institutional capacity are essential to the growth and development of the country. The Vice President of Liberia, Jeremiah Kuhn, has officially opened a National Civil Service Testing Center through the Civil Service Agency at the Ministerial Complex in Congo Town. Speaking at the official unveiling of the National Civil Service Testing Center Thursday, VP Kuhn emphasized the importance of modern computer-based testing facility in strengthening the public service requirement process. He believes that the civil service is the backbone of the nation's workforce and should recruit the best individuals with qualities, patriotism, and dedication. VP Kuhn also expressed the government's unwavering commitment to building a highly skilled and qualified civil service. He commended the Civil Service Agency for their vision and leadership in establishing their system, which will improve the credibility of the recruitment process. At the same time, the CSA Executive Director, Josiah Joket, said that the dedicated National Civil Service Testing Center is a crucial step towards ensuring fairness, efficiency, and transparency in civil service recruitment. The Ministry of Education is expected to conduct an annual census for Liberia schools across the country. The 2024 census, which will be conducted shortly, is in collaboration with partners from USA, EU, and the UNICEF, among others, to allow the ministry prepared for future investment in the sector and to monitor the quality, access, and equity in educational system. Speaking to journalists on Thursday at the Ministry of Information regular press briefing, Deputy Education Minister for Planning, Research and Development, Dr. Samuel Toh, said this year's census will include a comprehensive set of data on TVET. He further explained that under the 2024 census data, the ministry will also cover the TVET data across the entire sector, including formal and informal TVET institutions previously or the ones that have been operated under the Ministry of Youth and Sports. He said, in terms of cost cost projections for this year annual census, the ministry has projected $1.2 million that will cover equipment, training of data staff, logistics, census reporting, including dissemination and publication of the census report. The Liberia Red Cross has conducted a life-saving stimulation exercise on road traffic accident response under the theme Building Resilience and Saving Lives with focus on strengthening local response to road accidents. The exercise was conducted by the regional office of the Liberia Red Cross Society in Firestone, River G County. The exercise is part of the Red Cross multi-hazard stimulation plan within its 3-year Green, Inclusive and Resilient Liberian Community GIRD project, supported by the Embassy of Sweden through the Swedish Red Cross. The GIRD project is actively enhancing community resilience, promoting climate change adaptation, and building local capacities in health and disaster risk reduction across Sino, River G, and Grand Cru counties. The Retirees Association of Firestone Rubber Plantation has accused the management of the plantation of refusing to pay its pension benefits after serving and honorably retiring from the company. Speaking in an interview Wednesday, Firestone Rubber Association President Riley Jala asserted that over 4,000 retirees of the association have not been paid their retirement benefits. According to him, the alleged refusal of the company has resulted to dissatisfaction among retirees. He also accused the Firestone management of being discriminatory in the payment of former workers of the entity. Jala further indicated that Firestone Retirees Association has taken legal steps against the company over the alleged failure to pay pension benefits, something he said the administration of the Firestone Rubber Corporation is yet to adhere to. Also speaking, the senior advisor of the Firestone Rubber Association, Victor Investment, called on the government, human rights organizations, and international partners to intervene in what he described as dispute between the association and the Firestone Rubber Plantation Corporation. He expressed frustration over the company's alleged failure to pay retired workers their retirement benefits, noting that the institution action violates human rights. The Vice President of the University of Liberia Student Union, Abraham Gapin, is urging the 43 majority representatives to resume their work in the national legislature as soon as possible. Speaking to reporters at the main campus in Monrovia, the UL Vice President stated that it is completely unacceptable for elected representatives to abandon their duties and leave the legislative chambers without addressing the current issues in the country. According to him, they stand for accountability, transparency, and commitment to public service, emphasizing that the representatives have been entrusted by the people to act in the best interest of the nation. The union also believes that the well-being of the Liberian people should be top priority in the legislature, urging lawmakers to fully dedicate themselves to their roles and provide the necessary oversight and legislative support to ensure stability and progress for all Liberians. And in foreign development, several women have taken their lives in Sudan's central Gassira state after being raped by paramilitary fighters in the brutal civil war raging in the country, rights groups and activists have said. The report come after paramilitary Rapid Support Forces (RSF) was accused by the UN of atrocious crimes, including mass killings, interstate last week. The RSF fighters continuing to advance. One rights group has told the BBC it is in contact with 6 women who are contemplating taking their own lives as they fear being sexually assaulted. But the RSF had dismissed a recent UN report blaming a rise in sexual violence on its combatants, telling the BBC the accusations were not based on evidence. The vicious struggle for power between the army and RSF has killed tens of thousands of people and forced more than 11 million people from their homes since the conflict began in April 2023. The head of the UN World Food Programme, Cindy McCain, visited the aid hub of Port Sudan this week and told the BBC that the country could see the world's largest ever humanitarian crisis if a ceasefire is not reached. She warned that millions of people could die from starvation. That's the shift of the news bulletin. Let's take a very short break. When we come back, we'll bring you the real forces behind the news. Thanks for rejoining us. And if you just tune in, this is a reminder that you're listening to King's FM Newsroom. Newsroom is a 45 minutes news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and the rest of the world. Stories we're following this morning on Newsroom. Opposition Congress for Democratic Change Executive Committee condemns Deputy Speaker Thomas Fala for gross disobedience to party's interests, but Deputy Speaker Fala says his decision to listen to the majority bloc is in respect to the House's rules and procedures and the Liberian Constitution. President Joseph Boakai suspended with immediate effect 3 officials of the Liberian Refugees Repatriation and Resettlement Commission. The Liberian leader instructs Liberian Anti-Corruption Commission to launch full-scale investigation into corruption scandal involving LTRC Executive Director Patrick Woolsey and his 2 deputies. Senate Committee on Hydrocarbon, Energy and Environment gives Liberia Electricity Corporation and Liberia Electricity Regulatory Commission 10 days ultimatum to provide clarity on proposed electricity tariff increment. And away from home, several women have taken their lives in Sudan's central Gassira state after being raped by paramilitary factors in the brutal civil war raging in the country, rights groups and activists have said. On this one now, Deputy House Speaker Thomas Fala has joined the majority bloc following 2 separate communications compelling him to appear before the joint chamber. During the anti-COVID 6-day sitting on Thursday, October 31st, Deputy Speaker Fala was seen presiding in the joint chamber of the 43 lawmakers calling for the removal of House Speaker Jonathan Fonantikova. Prior to the first section, the majority bloc on Wednesday, October 30th, issued a second warning to the Deputy Speaker in a communication addressed to him by the acting Chief Clerk James Toby, compelling the Deputy Speaker presence before the anti-COVID bloc 6-day sitting in the joint chamber to discharge his legislative duties. Recently, the rebelling lawmakers also threatened to declare the Deputy Speaker position vacant, failure for the Deputy Speaker Fala to attend his Tuesday, October 29th session and consequently Thursday, October 31st session. The Deputy Speaker previously issued a statement on his official Facebook page indicating his reasons for appearing before the majority black in the joint chamber. He pointed out that his decision to listen to the majority bloc is in respect to the House's rules and procedures and the Liberian Constitution.
In my view, to be in the best interest of our people, to be in the best interest of the oath that we took to protect and defend. Distinguished colleagues on the other side, in my view, to be in the best interest of our people, to be in the best interest of the oath that we took to protect and defend. Distinguished colleagues on the other side, we are colleagues who are going to work for the next 6 years in the interest of our people.
The 2024 census is being conducted in collaboration.
Deputy Speaker Thomas Falla. In a related development, Deputy Speaker Thomas Falla has called on the majority black and the pro-Kofa black to reconcile in the interests of Liberians and start to conduct major national duties. According to him, it is prudent that both parties uphold the Liberian Constitution and the House's rules and procedures in bringing a total end to the ongoing political maneuvering. Meanwhile, embattled House Speaker Fonati Kofa has expressed disappointment in the majority black for refusing to attend regular section being paid. Pro-Kofa black on Thursday could not conduct section due to lack of quorum. Here is Deputy Speaker Thomas Falla.
In my view, to be in the best interest of our people, to be in the best interest of the oath that we took to protect and defend. Distinguished colleagues on the other side, we are colleagues who are going to work for the next 6 years in the interest of our people. There will be disagreements, but it is my anticipation that our disagreements, should now further divide us into the Liberian people business. So I have come to call on you, and I like the presentation made by the colleagues chairman of judiciary, respecting the separations of powers, understanding the authority of the executive, understanding the authority of the legislature as well as the judiciary. We encourage some of us to give respect, as it is being said, to proceed with a team of lawyers representing this body in adherence to the request of the Honorable Supreme Court. Lastly, distinguished colleagues, we understand there are issues. You have some valid concerns. It is my hope again that we all come together, respecting the rules and procedure of the Honorable House of Representatives, in addition to the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia, and call for due process. If any of our colleague is accused, we must adhere to due process, and that colleague will be given due process. I hope we will take emotions, come together. All of the both parties, you are encouraged to come together and invoke the spirit of due process so that we can remedy the situation. And once we come together, we do the Liberian people business. Having said that, distinguished colleagues.
Deputy House Speaker Thomas Falla. The Congress for Democratic Change Executive Committee has strongly condemned Deputy Speaker Thomas Falla for what it termed as disobedience to the party's interest in the ongoing political saga for the removal of Speaker Kofa. So CDC Executive Committee also frowned at CDC lawmakers who it said have disrespected former President George Weah and the Executive Committee to go against House Speaker Jonathan Fonati Kofa. In a release issued Thursday, the opposition party accused President Joseph Walker of influencing the ongoing political fight at the House of Representatives for the removal of Speaker Kofa. According to the former ruling party, the president-elect wrote in the removal of Speaker Kofa is intended to destabilize the CDC.
A very important meeting with the Tokah chairs and the Notarial Faloma and the Deputy Speaker. And we in the strongest term condemn the attempt of the Joseph Baga government to infuse money at the national legislature to try to remove the speaker. We are thankful that that particular activity was aborted today, and we are constructively engaged with our lawmakers. We are warning our lawmakers to stay clear of this attempt to remove the speaker, because the speaker was elected, and the CDC further support the speaker as we speak. So we're going to be.
I'm honored to be here.
CDC Executive Committee speaking there. The executive director for the Campaigner for Change, Vandela Patrick, has expressed disappointment in the ongoing removal saga of House Speaker Jade Fonati Kofa as he calls for due process. Liberians who in abroad have since begun calling for the full implementation of the rule of law, but majority members of the House of Representatives are said to be stiff in demanding the removal of Speaker Kofa. Vandela Patrick has condemned the action happening at the House of Representatives, adding that allegation leveled against the rebel lawmakers should be taken seriously, but at the same time call for due process before the Speaker can be removed.
And also their rules of the House of Representatives. Make no mistake, the Alebo Echo, Ajami, all should appreciate the two members of the House of Representatives who have decided to take into perspective to ensure that their speaker in line with what do. However, honor someone is presumed innocent or guilty. We are not associating ourselves with those allegations leveled against the speaker are germane. What we are in the honorable members representative to is to give them due process. Due process is a requirement that legal matter be resolved according to established rules and principles, and that individuals accused of committing crime be treated fairly. What we see today is a complete contravention of the Liberian Constitution. And this is why we want to send this as a caveat. Liberia is a country of laws and not of men and women, as we have seen at the national legislature. Today, fellow Liberians, I want all of us to understand that members of the House of Representatives wanting to remove the speaker have deliberately stated that the workings of the House of Representatives has two methods: the constitutional method and the political method. Ironically, they have chosen to use the political method over the rule of law or the Constitution, which is a deliberate attempt to abrogate, contravene, and violate the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia.
Campaigner for Change, Vandela Patrick. The Banking Institute of Liberia and the Liberia Chamber of Commerce have ended a day-long roundtable conference in Monrovia geared towards strengthening business environment and attracting investment capital in Liberia. The program, held on Thursday at the Monrovia City Hall, brought together key stakeholders from the Central Bank of Liberia, International Monetary Fund, Liberia Bar Association, International Finance Corporation, Liberia Bank Association, International Investment Commission. The Banking Institute of Liberia and the Liberia Chamber of Commerce, in partnership with the Liberia Bar Association, are collaborating to strengthen legal reforms to protect and attract investment in Liberia. Speaking at the ceremony, the president of the Liberia Chambers of Commerce, Native Davis, pointed out that the importance of the initiative, adding that the rightful policies are being formed to promote Liberia businesses and the investment sector. Davis further expressed hope, indicating that he believes governance and institutional capacity are essential to the growth and development of the country.
Small note with you, when I was inducted as president of Liberia Chamber of Commerce, and it reads, the right policy response calls for an informed and thoughtful assessment of the problem, which leads to decisions on the interventions that is supported by human and material resources. Therefore, it is evident that governance and institutional capacity are central to economic growth and prosperity. Governance provides the environmental context for institutions to flourish and be strengthened. Governance is necessary for creating predictable rules, processes, and incentives for economic actors to operate. A stable and thriving market environment is usually underpinned by political stability and capable institutions. Institutions set the rules, regulate market conduct, support market actions, and adjudicate in market conflicts and competition. Furthermore, public institutions provide the basic social services that support the operations of the market. The rule of law, due process, predictable administration, and far-sighted leadership, which are all components of governance.
Natty Davis, head for the Liberia Chambers of Commerce. The Vice President of Liberia, Jeremiah Cohn, has officially opened the National Civil Service Testing Center through the Civil Service Agency at the Ministerial Complex in Congo Town. Speaking at the official unveiling of the National Civil Service Testing Center Thursday, VP Cohn emphasized the importance of the modern computer-based testing facility in strengthening the public service recruitment process. He believes that the civil service is the backbone of the nation's workforce and should recruit the best individuals with qualities and patriotism and dedication. VP Cohn also expressed the government's unwavering commitment to building a highly skilled and qualified civil service. He commended the Civil Service Agency for their vision and leadership in establishing this system, which will improve the credibility of the recruitment process. At the same time, the CSA Executive Director, Josiah Joket, said that the dedicated National Civil Service Testing Center is a crucial step toward ensuring fairness, efficiency, and transparency in civil service recruitment.
Inauguration, the National Civil Service Testing Center. This modern computer-based testing facility is a landmark achievement for our civil service and presents a critical advancement in our commitment to strengthening public service recruitment. The civil service remains the engine of our nation's workforce. It is necessary that we recruit our very best, a workforce of quality, competence, patriotism, and dedication. With this center, we reaffirm our demonstration to ensuring that Liberia's civil service is built on the foundation of the most skilled, qualified individuals. Today, we unveil a system which will reflect our nation's values of integrity and efficiency. This facility is more than investment in technology. It is a transformation in how we select those who will serve Liberia. The former paper-based system allows entry for individuals lacking the necessary skill to advance our civil service. I applaud the Civil Service Agency for its vision and leadership in establishing this system that will enhance the credibility of our recruitment process from this day forward. Securing a position in government will rely on merit, competence, and a true desire to serve the people. The center is equipped with high-performing technologies, a specialized assessment tool. We can now facilitate timely and secure evaluation of candidates. This means a faster, more efficient hiring process. With ultimate strengthening our civil service and improve our delivery for all Liberians. As we open this remarkable facility, let us reaffirm our commitment to the values it represents: fairness, integrity, and the continual pursuit of excellence in public service. Let us celebrate this collective milestone that will resonate in the strength of our civil service and the prosperity of our nation. Together, we are advancing toward a stronger, more effective, and more accountable government dedicated to serving Liberia.
National
Vice President Jeremiah Cohn. At the same time, the CSA's Executive Director, Josiah Joket, said that the dedicated National Civil Service Testing Center is a crucial step towards ensuring fairness, efficiency, and transparency in civil service recruitment.
National Civil Service Testing Center is equipped with advanced computers and specialized tools that streamline the testing process, more accurate assessment of prospective civil servants. This upgrade allows for a quicker recruitment timeline, ensuring the highly qualified personnel are swiftly placed in critical roles, thus fostering a more agile and responsive civil service that meets the evolving needs of our nation. The facility houses 3 testing rooms with a total of 27 cubicles, each providing candidates with ample space to ensure a comfortable testing experience. Each cubicle is outfitted with a bell notifier, wireless mouse, and a pair in other countries and the region where candidates often face cramped testing environments. With a bank of wide-ranging questions curated by an independent consulting firm, the center is equipped to test 89 junior and senior.
The executive director of CSA, Josiah Chockett. The Retirees Association of Firestone Rubber Plantation has accused the management of the plantation of refusing to pay its pension benefits after serving and honorably retiring from the company. Speaking in an interview Wednesday, the Firestone Rubber Association President Raleigh Jalad asserted that over 4,000 retirees of the association have not been paid their retirement benefits. According to him, the alleged refusal of the company has resulted to dissatisfaction among retirees. He also accused the Firestone management of being discriminatory in the payment of former workers of the entity.
More than 4,000 retirees. And we are aggrieved. We are aggrieved in that Firestone took away our pensions benefit. And not only that, but they did it discriminately. What I mean by that is that Firestone, in implementing the Decent Work Act, decided that she was not responsible to pay retirement benefit to retirees anymore according to the Decent Work Act. They go to court about that. Firestone went to the 13th Judicial Circuit Court in Kakata. The case was ruled in our favor. We went to court because we were aggrieved. We felt that Firestone shouldn't have taken away our retirement benefits. But Firestone said they were operating under the laws of implementing the 2015 Decent Work Act. We went to court because the first thing, laws are not supposed to be retroactive. Somebody who was retired 15 years ago, and the Decent Work Act came into being around 2015. They went and took away that person's benefit. As people have a right to defend.
Really, from the Firestone Rubber Plantation. The Ministry of Education is expected to conduct an annual census for Liberia schools across the country. The 2024 census, which will be conducted shortly, is in collaboration with partners from UCA, EU, and UNICEF, among others, to allow the ministry prepared for future investment in the sector and to monitor the quality, access, and the equity in the educational system. Speaking to journalists on Thursday at the Ministry of Information regular press briefing, Deputy Education Minister for Planning, Research and Development, Dr. Samuel Toh, said this year's census will include a comprehensive set of data on TVET.
We conducted in collaboration with many of our partners, including USAID, UNICEF, the EU, and other members of the team we now call the Technical Working Group on Data and Evidence. As you know, and as it is commonly said around here, data is life. And so the data we collect from our education system allows us to plan better, allows us to prepare for proper investment in the sector, and allows us to monitor the quality, access, and equity of the education system. We will conduct annual school census this year between November and December in terms of critical dates, and I will read out the dates of
Deputy Education Minister Dr. Samuel Toh. The Vice President of the University of Liberia Student Union, Abraham Gapin, is urging the 43 majority representatives to resume their work in the national legislature as soon as possible. Speaking to reporters at the main campus in Monrovia, the UF Vice President stated that it is completely unacceptable for elected representatives to abandon their duties and leave the legislative chambers without addressing the current issues in the country. According to him, the stand for accountability, transparency, and commitment to public service, emphasizing that the representatives have been entrusted by the people to act in the best interest of the nation.
The Student Union demands immediate resumption of work for the 3 lawmakers in the majority bloc of the National Legislature. The University of Liberia Student Union also calls upon the 43 lawmakers within the majority bloc of the National Legislature to immediately resume their legislative duties and fulfill their mandate. Unacceptable that elected representatives have left their legislative chambers without fulfilling their responsibilities to address the pressing issues facing our nation. As students and concerned citizens, we stand for the principles of accountability, transparency, and commitment to public service. We remind these lawmakers that they are entrusted by the people to act in the nation's interest, particularly in these challenging times when decisive leadership and legislative actions are essential. The University of Liberia Student Union demands the following: 1. The immediate resumption of duties. We
Well, on that note, this is how I would like to go home on this edition of the program Kings FM Newsroom. Newsroom is a 45 minutes news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and the rest of the world. But just before we go home, let's remind you of stories we've been following. Opposition Congress for Democratic Change Executive Committee condemns Deputy Speaker Thomas Fowler for gross disobedience to party's interests. But Deputy Speaker Thomas Fowler says his decision to listen to the majority bloc is in respect to the horse's rules and procedures and the Liberian Constitution. President Joseph Boakai suspends with immediate effect 3 officials of the Liberian Refugees Repatriation and Resettlement Commission. The Liberian leaders instruct Liberian Anti-Corruption Commission to launch a full-scale investigation into corruption scandal involving LRRC Executive Director Patrick Woolsey and his 2 deputies. Senate Committee on Hydrocarbon, Energy and Environment gives Liberia Electricity Corporation and Liberia Electricity Regulatory Commission a 10 days ultimatum to provide clarity on proposed electricity tariff increment. And away from home, several women have taken their lives in Sudan's central Gassira state after being raped by paramilitary factors in the brutal civil war raging in the country, Rice Group and activists have said. So on that notice, I would like to go home. Thanks for being there. On behalf of the entire production team, my name is Newton Tokah. Good morning.